It's 6 in the morning. I totally didn't mess up the recording and had my game playing in the background. But we're talking about Matahari. Uh, I started with that in the screen because 6 minutes into recording, I realized that the audio was playing. So bye bye. Anyway, enough about my incompetence as a content creator. Let's get started talking about Matahari. And first off, you just look at her Ascension artwork. She does not change much. This is one of the earliest servants in the game. Her hit counts really show it. These are not good. Base 1-star stats. And this is the highlight of her whole kit, sorry, not her whole kit, her base stats. 2.1, hit count is shit. Not good. Off the bat, she is a support. She is a buffer, especially now she is a buffer. Sorry. Now she is a buffer, and she's been a debuffer. Obviously, we're talking about the NA server. We are not talking about JP. For Matahari, she's had this buff, obviously, for like 2 years. But she could definitely use an animation update. They should definitely give her an animation update because she's still shooting out caster balls in this day and age, even on JP. Why do they hate the old servants so much? Like, for real, like if they could rework her hit count, she would be so much better. Because 2.1% MP gain is, if these were 4 hit and this was a 2, woo, then she'd actually have decent refund. Then she'd actually have decent star gen. But she doesn't. She doesn't. First skill was this 30% star gen for herself for 3 turns on a 5-turn cooldown. That's it. First off, this didn't do anything for her because she had 2 hit quicks. Yes, she's an assassin, so her star gen was pretty good. But yeah, no. This was not enough. The buff she got today, 100% star gen for the party. She has Gilgamesh's infamous star genning skill. She has that as a 1-star with 1-star cost. So if you are on a budget, you don't have Caster Gilgamesh, you don't have Miss Crane, here you go. You have a servant that can provide the star gen you need to guarantee your arts cards are going to gen stars for your main DPS. In the first recording of this, I talk about Ryder Mordred. She has a star gen skill of her own, and she has a multi-hit AoE arts MP. You put this on Mordred, her arts MP will actually gen stars, and she'll actually have crit damage to go along with that. Being a Ryder, she has better star weight, so she'd actually be able to take advantage of this crit damage. And here's the reason how I found out that I had music playing. I brought up Matahari just to see where mine was, and I'm happy she's at 7. But 7 means 80% star gen, not 100. Am I gonna lower her in the future? Maybe, if I get bored and want to do setups. But probably 9 is good enough, depending on the class. If you're trying to buff up berserkers, you gotta go for 100%. Because their star gen is so bad, and Ryder is at double that. Ryder is like double that kind of star gen, so that's why Mordred can kind of get away with it. But overall, this is a great skill. This is a skill you'd find more on a 4-star than a 1-star. They tend to give these 1-stars like cracked skills for their dog shit stats, and that's fine. Like, for example, Caster Saber Gilles de Rais has a permanent buster buff for his, what, 1, 2 arts card, 2 buster cards? I think it's 1. No, he has 2. Right? Yeah, he has 2. He has a permanent 40% buster buff. How many 5-stars would kill for that? Like a permanent, like, 40% buster buff that lasts for 5 turns that you could possibly double stack with White Skya. Is it going to be the most crazy thing? No, but 5 stars would kill for uptime skills like that. And they probably have. They're pro spirits. They probably killed a lot of people. Second skill, chance to charm all male enemies for 1 turn, reduces enemies defense for 3 turns, 20%. Again, this part, she needs debuff res down to help guarantee this lands. This is nice though, and it pairs very nicely with the third skill that I made pretty much a video about. Skill seal guaranteed for 1 turn. There is no leveling required for this. Benkei, William Tell, off the top of my head. I actually have this up for once, so we can see. Filter. And if you guys didn't know that you could do this, you can do this. This is how I like went through it really quickly. Yes. So these are all the servants I have that have skill seal. I know a lot of these servants have it on their MP. Matahari is, and these two have it on skills. You have to level those skills to make it 100%. Otherwise, Benkei's is like 60, 70% chance. William is the same way. Yeah, no. I want to go for consistency. I don't want to level a skill just to make it work. I don't want to level a skill that doesn't do anything unless I level it. Because especially Benkei, his skill literally does nothing if it doesn't work. This has another part to it too. It's straight up better. 20% defense. She debuffs with defense down, and she buffs with crit damage. This is solid support stuff. Like, very good for a budget player. If you have a new account, like, this is great for going to a boss fight. Here's the real kicker with her. She has no passives. Nada. Zero. Nothing to help buff herself. She doesn't have presence concealment. Obviously, she doesn't have territory creation. I'm surprised she doesn't have the writing skill, because it is proven that certain servants have the writing skill for riding something other than horses. I mean, if you watch porn, some people would say those are horses, or at least their lower parts are horses. Anyway, yeah, where she doesn't have any passives. Fucking Mevin, come on. Oh my God. There's no way. Kiara has to have that too. She has to have that. I'm sure she does. Well, I'll check that later. Depends. She's a 1-star. You're gonna have all these available to you anyway. You just need to friend point summon until you can do it. NP. Chance to charm. It's really base 60. Reduces their attack 1 turn, reduces their defense 1 turn. She is a big debuffer. And she works for any card type. The problem is this needs a buff. She does not have any res down. She has no way to get back to her MP. She needs like something buff. Like for esports, they're not even gonna get to the MP unless you use a K-scope. Most people should have her at MP5, but no way to pair these charms. And but this is not specific to males. I would definitely say this would need a buff if this was male specific, like her charm. Because unlike Uriel, she's not getting back to her MP. Uriel has a decent arts card and an arts buff to get back. Matahari does not have that. She's also an art servant with a triple thick deck. No issue there. This stuff lasting for 1 turn, also a bit of a problem. The attack buff could have been 3 turns. Defense, I would understand if they kept this 1 turn, but I think the attack buff being 1 turn is a mistake because it means there is no leeway set up at the top. This very similar to how you would pop Nightingale. You would pop the effective way to do it is to pop it right before your opponent's about to MP. Is the current meta is why would you take less damage when you could just take no damage? It's good that this is the first buff they gave her, but it took way too long for a buff like this. Is like getting a huge like gameplay changing usage effect worth this long 6-year wait? No. They could have done this like last year. They could have. I don't know why they need to wait to the anniversary for a buff like this. Like, yes, I get story reasons. Like, this is a time for like servants that aren't involved in the story to get buffs. But like, they're trying to make all of your units playable. Maybe step up the pace on like the units that everyone has, just to make all of the units feel a little better. Because these year 1 hit counts like really seals the deal for a lot of people using them. Like, this does not feel good to use. So we're coming to her ascension mats, and I am happy to report these are something so easily farmable. Like, is it a little annoying going after these? Yeah, but these are very, very low numbers in comparison to like 3-4 stars. You need 4 gears total. You need the most you need of any mat is 8. 8. You can farm that in a day's worth of just farming like mats. Literally a day's worth. Like, you just go to the best drop rate and you run through your AP, and you probably will have enough to like level her. Obviously, this is 1 skill, so you have to multiply everything by 3. Ooh, then we come to our pens. Now we say where she's really using up mats. Holy crap! Yeah, I wasn't expecting bullets from her. I mean, it makes sense because she is supposed to be a spy, so her needing bullets to ascend kind of does make sense. But ooh. Bonsi, very, very solid support 1. MP gen up 50% while she's on the field. Solid. Like, she needs this as part of her kit to make her guards feel better. But not bad, not a bad Bonsi. If they ever make it a passive, she's truly gonna be a support, like a really solid support on a budget. I think Matahari is someone you need to like put on your list of servants that you need to level, just because it's gonna go by like really fast, and then you're just gonna have access to a servant like this all the time. We have a lot of servants that do like grant a whole lot of buffs, but not that many that like give like debuffs, especially as many as this. Like 40% debuff or defense down for 3 turns is significant. That's more than what Scotty gives on her 2nd skill. So if you plan on doing any kind of setups, Matahari might be a good pick. And your other option for debuffing like this is Abigail, like Summer Abigail, who is a 5-star. So she has, if you want to look at it a certain way, she kind of does have like parts of the kits of 2 5-stars, like, and then Uriel thrown in for good measure. Like, if you want to look at it like that, she's useful to have leveled, not a must. Like, this is something you have to do right now. Just something to keep in mind. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.